Big John McCarthy and Josh Thompson discuss Jon Jones's personality and fans' perception of him after retirement. Aside from being widely recognized as the greatest fighter in UFC's history, Jon's temperament and troubles in personal life have been things that raised the level of intrigue the public felt by him. And considering the chaotic nature in which he conducted himself, especially earlier in his career, it is no surprise that his reputation as a kind of a madman outside of the octagon continues to be one of the reasons the fans are so invested in his fights and the build-up phases as well. Catching a glimpse of the old wild Jon Jones and his fury unleashed on somebody or something is a desire of many who aren't really into the more tamed version of him, the one that mostly conducts himself respectfully, as it gives off the sense that Jon is faking that demeanor. And people who support him want him to unmask his true persona and play into the bad guy vibe, rather than hiding it. Some of that we saw during his presser with Stipe, when he refused to shake the former champion's hand and warned him not to mention his kids during the face-off. John McCarthy and Josh Thompson comment on Jones and his antics.
How he treats people are going to be how people look back on him as a fighter. Even though he's not fighting, they're going to start giving him more respect for what he did in the fight game, being that he's now, in their eyes, a good person.
You know where I feel like he lost and became the full-blown heel? Not even outside the sports stuff. It was when they did the behind-the-scenes at ESPN, and he told DC, "I'd spit in your face."
Oh, absolutely! Like, I'd kill you.
I'd kill you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, or whatever. Like, that.
No, you said, he goes, if I see you, I'd spit in your face, DC. You spit in my. Oh no, DC said it, I believe.
Yeah.
And he says, you think you can spit in my? I'll kill you.
Yeah,
and you just look.
There was a look on his face, John.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was serious.
He probably would.
He was serious.
He would. Yeah. Like, this is not just fighting, and this is not just build up to the fight. This is for real. And I think that portion of it, along with all the other stuff, they're like, oh, there's a lot of inner demons with him and what's going on. Like, he just has that.
Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo discuss Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. The two lightweights are set to clash this weekend in a co-main event for UFC 310. We all remember their first fight, which culminated in a finish of Michael Chandler and coronation of Charles as the new champion of the division. Of course, Chandler certainly came close to winning himself, knocking down Oliveira and nearly finishing him, but the Brazilian put it on Michael the following round, finishing the fight soon after. Their career paths looked very different from that point on, but one factor they still share is the almost absolute guarantee of entertaining and electric performances when they do appear inside the octagon. This is especially true when they're faced off against fighters that have aggressive and fan-friendly styles themselves. And while we can expect a sort of a repeat of their first fight as it relates to pure entertainment value, it is an important bout with serious implications for their careers. Kamaru and Henry comment on the fight.
The most submissions in UFC history. I mean, Charles the Bronx is out of this damn world. He could strike, he could wrestle. My biggest question for Charles the Bronx is against a guy like Michael Chandler. The game plan for Michael Chandler is, could you make it super freaking boring? Can you do what Arman Sarukian did? Can you do what Islam Makhachev did of take him down and just frame and then just steal the fight? The reason why I say that is because you cannot scramble too much with the Bronx because he's too tricky tomorrow.
No, I 100% agree with you. I do think Michael Chandler is the type of guy that can do that. Mike has the ability to slow down a fight and just be solid in his technique and not get overzealous and not become the entertainer. And I spent quite a bit of time with Michael Chandler, and the one thing that I will say is it seems that Mike has definitely grown in that area of being able to stay composed in the heat of battle, because Mike Chandler was seconds away from winning that first fight and becoming the lightweight champion of the world.
Joe Rogan reveals he recently had a conversation with Jon Jones on the phone when Joe tried to convince him to stick around after the Stipe bout and fight Tom Aspinall to cement his legacy as an indisputable GOAT of the sport. Joe Rogan's relationship with the heavyweight champion has been consistently good over many years, and while the two don't make many public appearances together, they both have stated on multiple occasions that they maintain contact and speak to each other often. Now, the whole ducking accusations have reached Joe's ears as well. A portion of fans that many categorize as haters continuously comment on every post with him or mention of him, calling for a fight with Tom and spamming duck emojis. And while the whole community would love to see him defend his title against the interim champion, that portion that roots for him to lose has a specific agenda. That is, of course, to get to witness a fight that would have a much higher probability of danger presented to John compared to the Stipe bout. The growing narrative of John trying everything to avoid fighting Tom and that he's just simply scared to do so, however true or absurd it is, seems to be working, and that's the most important factor. At the press conference, when asked whether John would be given a chance to fight Alex Pereira. After Stipe, Dana responded by saying that if Jones would like to continue fighting after this weekend's event, his next fight should definitely be against the interim champion. How meaningful Dana's push for this fight to happen will be, we have yet to find out. It looks like Dana may have used Joe Rogan's help in trying to changing Jones's mind. When speaking about Jones's fight this Saturday and the possible retirement, Rogan said that he played a part in trying to change Jones's mind and getting him to fight Tom. Joe said he told John that the best option for him would be to stick around and prove to everyone that he is undeniably the GOAT.
All that stuff fucks with him. It's gotta fuck with him. Aspinall is like, we've only seen him smash. We've never seen him be the nail. John Jones has had some trials and tribulations, but the skill set and the ability to push deep into rounds is nuts. I had a conversation with John and I said, listen, dude, you're still the greatest motherfucker of all time and you could show the world.
CHAEL Sonnen has doubts about Khamzat Chimaev's future and championship potential, even after his impressive victory over Whitaker. The Chechen contender was described as the sport's hottest prospect across all weight classes, back when he first burst onto the scene at welterweight and was having multiple fights in very short periods of time, displaying overwhelmingly dominant performances and attracting fans with his attitude and antagonistic approach to opponents. And so far, despite not having been too active for the last year, he is practically next in line for a title shot. After finishing Robert Whitaker and shocking the public by how fast he was able to do it, all indications were that Dana moved on from the planned du Plessis versus Strickland rematch, and now he's planning to give Khamzat the title shot next. CHAEL Sonnen isn't too sure about Khamzat's upper bound limit.
Let's just not forget that since October of last year, those minutes and moments that you saw Chimaev in there with Whitaker were the only minutes and moments Chimaev has even had. I think that matters. I do think that matters. And I want to look at it though. And I want to be real fair here, all right? Now let's just, and we got to use history. We make a claim, we've got to back it up with something that we've seen with our own eyes. How does Chimaev beat Dricus du Plessis? If you were to use history, meaning skills and techniques that you've seen Chimaev possess and able to employ in battle, then you have to say that he's going to take du Plessis down and he's going to beat him up when he gets there. That's fine because you've seen Chimaev do that, but if I was to juxtapose that, who have you seen take du Plessis down?